Food markets only.
Meet Susie Smart, she is so bright. On her blackboard you can write. She has a desk, she has a seat. What's your name, my darling sweet?
My name is Susie Smart.
She can talk!
She can talk, but can she add?
2 plus 2 is 4. Cat, C-A-T.
You can spell!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
You recite!
Press the button, she says a dozen things, complete with desk, blackboard, and seat. Susie Smart, sold at food markets only.
4 feet. This, I understand, could be attributed to the use of marijuana. It causes errors in time and space. Objection.
You on drugs?
Good morning. It's Susie Q96. Yeah, I'm up at 6 a.m. Welcome to the Deadbeat Club. This is a special edition of the Deadbeat Club called Mind Your Own Business. I woke up in the middle of the night tonight because my health does that to me. And I wandered through some channels I don't usually go into. And I'm telling you what, I wandered into one. I'm not going to mention anybody's names. I am not a subscriber of that channel, and I don't really know why it came up on my feed. But I'm telling you what, there was some nasty, nasty people in there. And I don't mean just nasty as in foul language, which they were. But I mean nasty, full of hate for everything from black people to police officers to other channel operators. I mean, there was 12 people in there, and I knew 3 or 4 of them. Some of them come into my channel. I never knew those people were that way. But my goodness, y'all need to get a freaking grip on your mouth, on your attitudes. Y'all don't own YouTube. It was terrible. Needless to say, I didn't stay in there very long. And some of those people are part of a group, and I'm going to get myself in trouble here, but they're part of a group of people that call themselves the best of the best. Well, honey, what I was seeing in there wasn't the best of anything. It was disgusting. And that's why I don't support a lot of those channels, but I didn't realize what goes on in the middle of the night, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, they were crucifying a couple of other channels. And since I've been on the other end of that, and some of those same people have done it to me, I'm just letting y'all know, when you go in channels like that and you hang out in there, even if you are not saying the nasty things and you're just hanging in there, it looks like you condone that behavior. And I pray nobody in my channel is condoning that kind of behavior, because it was disgusting. And really, it is not your place to go around and point the finger and make accusations towards other channels. You're not the YouTube police. If you think there's a serious problem, report it to YouTube. Don't go out and start all this crap. It's not becoming of you. It is one of the reasons I started the Deadbeat Club. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about where the title of this pop-up stream that I do periodically comes from, it's from a song called The Deadbeat Club by the B-52s, about a bunch of people who don't work really. They just hang out down at Allen's bar, drink 25-cent beers, and listen to the jukebox playing a song called 96 Tears, which happens to be by the band I work with. Question mark and the Mysterians. The song came out in 66, and the B-52's Deadbeat Club came out in the late 80s or early 90s. So that's how much the longevity of 96 Tears is. But that's the reason I named this pop-up the Deadbeat Club. We don't claim to be the best of the best. We're just a bunch of folks that come and hang out and drink virtual beer and sort pennies and try to mind our own business. I was absolutely disgusted with what I saw earlier in so many ways. But yeah, y'all need to realize that when you sit in one of those channels like that, even though you may not be posting anything but googly eyes or whatever, when you participate in that stuff, it doesn't say much for you. I was really embarrassed by a couple of the people that I saw in this channel that have the reputation in the community for being fine, upstanding folks. Honey, y'all need to get out more. And I'm sure they're going to rake me over the coals for saying this. Good morning, Leanne Crawford. Good morning, Josh C. Good morning, Nightbot. Who you going to mess with this morning? Anyway, I'm up. I've been awake for 2 hours, and I'm just going to do some pennies from my penny box. This is roll number 4. This is not part of the 12 Days of Christmas. This is just my channel. And it says there's 6 people here, and I know who 2 of them are, so the other 4 are lurking. That's all right. You can lurk. I don't want to hear that kind of garbage over here in my channel. That was pathetic. I do not know why anybody thinks it's their privilege and right to go on and name names. I may talk about in general activities that are happening in the community, but I usually try not to name names on any negative things that are happening. That's why I get a little spicy when people in my channel start naming names. I don't like that. I'm not running the gossip column over here. It's not my place to judge and call people out. It just is not. Let's see if we got any close AM here. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I haven't had any luck with anything. I just opened this box last night, and I have never found a wide AM or a close AM on any of the ones that are supposed to have the variant, but I checked for them. One of these days it could happen. But thus far, I have never, ever found either one. It's the hope. It's the hope. Ah, Titus. It's the Titus person. I love you. Have not seen you for a bit. This is one of my favorites to look at. What you're hunting for on the 84 is the ear. There are some where the ear got doubled, and you'll have like this part of the ear, and then down here you will have this part of the ear lobe and stuff again. And I always hope that I find one. Thus far I haven't. Oh, y'all go check out God is Great's new video with the Indian head pennies. I'm going to have to go look at that when I get off of here. Good morning, Brian and the twins. It's a rare thing. I used to be on almost every morning. I used to have a show called This Was the News, where I did newspaper articles, old newspaper articles about currency, counterfeiting, coins, metal detecting. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm definitely going to check that Indian head video out when I get out of here. Anyway, I used to be on all the time in the morning. And then when I got really sick, I got away from, I kind of let that show drop. But I'm up. I have to be up by 7-ish because I have some medical things that have to happen. So I'm up. So I may resume that program. There's a copper. I had some people that watched it and enjoyed it, and actually some of the places that I featured newspaper articles on, I had some folks go out and do some detecting on them, which was kind of, just to see if there was anything still there. I can't get this off my screen. What is going on? So I may pick that show up or put a video up this weekend showing about 1,000 pennies. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm glad to see you making some content. I will definitely be over there checking that out. I always like new stuff. Why won't this go away? All right, there we go. All right, now we're back to semi-normal. Yeah, I kind of let another channel run me out of my early morning spot because, well, they were taken off, and I have since learned that those people are not who they say they are, which is kind of sad. I had great hopes for them, and they turned out to be busybodies, I guess is a good word. Oops, I didn't mean to put that 82 in there. Oh well, it's in there now. I'll find it later. So I'm going to go back to doing what I want to do when I want to do it. And that was why I created the Deadbeat Club, was just it's a pop-up. Whenever I feel like going on, I go on. Okay, doubling on the ear and chin. I do not see any of that happening here. What? An error penny with a date of 12/95? Holy wow. How could that happen? There's a copper, there's a shield. There's a... Okay, now this is one I just learned about from a book where apparently the designer initials, the FG over here, on some of the 88s, this is very, very bold and raised. And I had never heard of this before. So this is a new one that I am looking for, where the FG is raised where it is as high as the ridge on the edge of the steps. So that's a new one to watch. It's not new, but it was new to me. It was not in my book, and I found it in a different book. So I don't know how real it is, but I'm looking just in case. Good morning, Christopher. I'm not the only person up at this ungodly hour. I have taken half my meds. I will take the rest shortly. We're going to be looking for a close AM. We did not get it. I see nothing else on this coin. But I am going to use it for a second just to show you that the FG here is a little bit more bold. But on the 88s, they were not. They were kind of recessed a little bit. And so when you find, apparently when you find one that stands out, that's supposed to be something. I don't, like I said, I don't really know. I have printed out 3 or 4 different lists of pennies to look for, and that showed up recently on one. I had never been hunting those in the past. So yeah, I got this box at the bank yesterday. Those that were not in my stream last night. Oh, this one's got chewed up. Look at that. That is a sorry looking zinking right there. Anyway, those of you who weren't in my stream last night didn't hear the story about getting this box. But I got a new teller at the bank yesterday. And bless her heart, she did not appear to have a clue what I was talking about when I asked for a box of circulated pennies. She did not know what circulated meant and stared at me with this blank look on her face. I had to explain to her what circulated meant. And most of the other tellers at the bank, they all know what I do. And she just didn't have a clue what she was being asked, bless her. And she didn't know that we had to look at the rolls to make sure that I was not getting a full box of the same year. It was kind of sad. I don't understand how you get a job working with money and not understand something like that. But the poor little child did not understand. And I don't think she understood even after I opened the box and looked at the enders so that I could make sure what I was walking out of there with. Took me a while to train my bank. I'm not the only person in this community that does this. I'm the only one with a YouTube channel that I know of, but I'm definitely not the only one that searches boxes. Because a lady at the bank told me, but the other guy mostly does $50, which are out of my budget. Yep. Once in a while, I get a couple rolls of halves, but I don't have the means to go in and drop $500 on a box to search. I mean, that's half my income in a month, so not happening much around here. And so there's a reason this is the the home of the Lodo show. Because that's what we are. We is Lodo, honey. Nothing in that roll. Nothing in there. So far, we got nothing, honey, out of this box of money. This doesn't look promising. Oh, there's a couple dirty goodies in there. All right. So far, we have got no wheat. I'm hoping. Whew. I also haven't found any 68s. Been looking for those for Doug Harding wants my 68s. Hi, Ross. Good morning. Welcome to the Deadbeat Club, where we do absolutely nothing but hang around doing absolutely nothing. Well, almost absolutely nothing. We're going through some pennies. Just looking for treasure this morning. Just looking for a little treasure. We like treasures. It's always fun to get
penny.
Yeah, we got the penny this morning. There's some grub pennies in this box. I will say that. They're not pretty. I can't find it. There's an 82. I got a separate box for them. There's a 77 copper for the hopper. That is true, Christopher. With penny rolls, you do have a good chance of getting a 100-year-old coin. You also have a chance of getting, at least in the States, a whole bunch of these ugly shield pennies. I just hate them. I'm going to pick some of them out just so I don't waste my time on them. There we go. Get that out of here. There's a dirty Gertie. Yeah, I just thought I'd open a couple rolls this morning. And I did my little rant when I first came in about a channel that I wandered into in the middle of the night. It was absolutely disgusting. Those people think they represent the coin community as part of the best. Honey, they aren't even close. The things I was hearing in there, seeing in writing were absolutely disgusting and foul. And I looked to see if I was subscribed to that channel, because if I was going to be unsubscribed, and I'm not, so that's a good thing. It was very abusive towards women, abusive towards blacks, abusive towards cops, abusive towards other channels. I don't know why anybody would want to be that nasty, but I guess that's what you do to get attention. Yeah, well, I was shocked at a couple of the people who I saw in there. There was a lot of very nasty talk about women. I mean, foul. And there were two ladies, and I'm going to use that term loosely. There were two females in there who are supposed to be the cream of the crop, so to speak. They're highly respected in the community, and then I saw them in there, and I'm like, really? Oh, that explains why one of them's got her nose up in everybody's business right now. I just, yeah, I left. It was disgusting. But I will confess, I took a screenshot of one of the threads that was going on in there, because it involves someone who is a member of my channel. And if that person comes over here and does that, it won't be tolerated. It was just horrible. And I do not understand why people think they get to run other people's channels, that they get to designate the morals and call others out by name. It's one thing to talk about, in general, this is happening, or in general, that is happening. It is a different thing altogether to call other channel creators out by name, and without any documented proof, just start crucifying the other channels. Are you that insecure that you need to attack somebody else? Whether what they're doing is right or wrong, that's not your channel. Go, you can criticize whatever you want in your own living room. Don't go in somebody else's house and start that. You're not gaining any respect from me anyway. And they do it to me. They criticize me all the time. And, I guess that's their right as, under freedom of speech, but it's not pretty. I try to avoid certain topics on my channel. We don't go into different religions. We don't go into politics. I don't want that here. I want this to be a place where you go to get away from that crap. Because when you turn on the TV, you get that crap all day. Why would you want to go on YouTube and watch more of it? Yeah, I don't get it. I'm sorry. I have a different aesthetic, I guess. But I found the foul language offensive, and I cuss. You guys don't. I try not to do it when I'm in my stream, but I cuss like a sailor. I'll tell you a story about me and swear words. a couple of years after I graduated from high school, well, right after I graduated from high school, I moved to a different town. And then I got a job offer from my hometown, which was only an hour away. That was so good that I had to take it because my idea was I'm going to go back. No, I am not going to show the screenshot because I'm not going to stoop to their level and call these people out by name. They know who they are. But that's exactly what they would do. They would show that screenshot and say, look at these horrible people. It's not my place to expose those people. They expose themselves. If you go through who was broadcasting between 3 a.m. Eastern and 5:30 Eastern in the coin community this morning, you'll be able to figure out what channel it was. Wasn't that many live streams running at that time. You can go look at the replay of their stream for yourself. I'm not going to publicize that channel for them. I'm just going to make people aware that there's some nasty people. Anyway, back to my story. I took this job back in my hometown because it paid really, really well, and it was only an hour away from where I had been living, and I could drive back and forth on the weekends. So I said, okay, I'm going to take this job. I'm going to work it for 4 or 5 years. I'm going to save money for college, and then I'm going to quit that job and go back where I was. So I moved back to my hometown, and of course I had been living with like members of a rock and roll band, and of course everybody cussed, and so when I came back home to live, I got my first apartment, and my mom bought me a housewarming gift. God bless my mom. She was funny as heck. So she buys me a housewarming gift, and I open it up thinking it's going to be something, a pan or dishes or something. And I opened it, and it was a dictionary. And written inside the cover of the dictionary was a message from my mother, which said, "Here's in hope that you will find a different word to use besides the one that starts with F and ends with K." My response to my mother was, "There's another word for fire truck?" But you get the idea. I can cuss like a sailor, and I do periodically. But I try to keep it out of my live streams. I mean, once in a while I'll go off, but in general, and I don't try to censor people when I'm in their streams. My buddy Muscle Shell, I love Muscle Shell, and I watch his stream regularly because he plays some of the most fabulous music and music trivia stuff. But he really cusses like a sailor. It doesn't bother me because it's just part of his thing. And it is normally not aimed at any one particular person. It's just, that's just him. But that's his stream. So, if he did the same thing in my stream, I would be saying, hey, let's tone it down. But that's his stream. So I'm not gonna go in these guys' stream and berate them. I just leave because I don't want people to associate me with that. But there was some really, really nasty things being said in there, and I was shocked. I was shocked at the people I saw participating in it, because I would never have believed some of those people would have been in there talking that way. I'm going to show this one from Christopher, who is over on the other side of the pond in the British Isles. There's one channel whose live streams I always avoid due to how disrespectful the host and chat are towards the Queen. I get that. That's one of the reasons I don't allow politics in my channel. There are people who know my political beliefs, and there is one channel where there's supposed to be the almighty, most wonderful, patriotic people who will rip me a new one or go after. One of the topics they like to go after is Mexicans. And I don't mean just people trying to come across the border. They will go after people of Mexican descent who were born in the United States and say absolutely horrible things, knowing the band I work with was the first full-on rock and roll band in the history of the world, made up of a bunch of kids whose parents came to the United States legally, became citizens. These guys were all born in the U.S. They are Americans of Mexican descent. They were the very first rock band of all Mexican descent to have a #1 hit record on the Billboard charts way back in the 60s. They recorded this song for $50 in a guy's living room. Sold over 8 million copies. The song still gets airplay to this day. They are the nicest people you would ever know. But they are still suffering from discrimination. I work for them for free. But yeah, if I go into that channel within 10 minutes or so, somebody's going to start bad-mouthing Mexicans, trying to get to me. And rather than fall into their trap, I'll just say, okay, I just came in to say hi. Click the like button. See you later. Bye. I don't want to be associated with that kind of behavior. And I kind of want to encourage people to not hang out in channels like that. Like, I can totally understand why Christopher would find insulting the late Queen to be offensive. I have my own personal opinion about British politics, and I do follow it a little bit because my dad's family hasn't really been in the United States all that long. They've only been in the United States since around 1859. And so a little over 100 years. And, you know, I have British relatives, and I don't necessarily like British politics, but and I have my opinions on the royal family and things that have happened in there. And but if that was my home country, I still don't think, yeah, that I would enjoy being in a channel where they were bashing my country's leaders to the degree that I've seen some pretty awful things said about different presidents of the United States. And even though I might agree with some of the things they're saying, the way you say it can make a big difference. Like, you don't have to be nasty. You don't have to use the fire truck word every other word. You don't have to. It just makes you look ignorant. What was I looking for on this 93? I don't know. I don't think I was looking for anything on this 93. I think I just sat it down there and started running my yap yap. Brian and the twins says, yeah, there's a lot of channels I no longer participate in because of stupid stuff. Ross says, I try to ignore them. Sometimes it's hard to do. I'm going to give you a story that this was probably 3-4 months ago. I was in this very popular channel early in the morning, trying to have my coffee, and one of the people on their panel went off on Mexicans. And what she said was totally appalling to me on multiple levels, because then she applied the same line to Ukrainians. And what she said was that these people had no right to come into our country, and I'll go off on that one I'm going to do a whole video on our country. But she said all these people should be lined up on the White House lawn and executed. And people were like, yeah. Really? Are you serious? That was one of those moments where I just said, well, time for me to go. And I left that channel, and I think I have been back in there one time since. And they have a couple hundred people in there every morning, all talking about how wonderful they are. And the thing is, I actually like the person that runs the channel, but I don't have a lot of respect for them anymore because they allow this bullying. The bullies that are after me are a lot of them in her channel. I don't understand why people think that's cool. And some of you have been in here and seen me ask somebody in my channel, let's not discuss XYZ channel, or no, we're not going to name this person, because I don't want to publicize them. I don't. But yeah, I'm still in shock at the things that I saw this morning. I saw horrible attacks on women. Good morning, Teen Clambake. Calling women stupid, calling women sexual objects. I don't even want to use the words. And then a big tirade from somebody that up until this point I thought was a pretty nice person, calling the channel creator on another coin channel a douchebag and several other nasty things. And I'm like, no, I don't want anybody to know that I was even in this horrible place. So just a reminder, if you hang out in dirt, you're going to get dirt. You're going to be dirty. And I was shocked at who I saw in there this morning. I mean, I really was. This particular person is supposed to be one of the pillars of the coin community and was in there with that horrible crap going on. I'm like, really? And then there was a friend of mine, and I'm like, I don't know, because I saw her in there and I posted and asked, hey, are you still here? And she didn't answer. So I'm guessing she may have just stumbled in there and then realized how disgusting it was and got the heck out. I can only hope. But for that reason, I have decided I am going to come back to doing my morning show whenever I feel up to it. So I'm doing the Deadbeat Club today, but I think I am going to go back to my original morning show, which was called It Was the News. And there are a number of episodes of it. It's where I brought the Susie Smart thing in because the idea was to educate people about metal detecting and coin collecting and currency. And some of the newspaper articles were really interesting. We found one about an accident. Christopher says, I was fortunate when I was growing up. My part of Lincolnshire still had a lot of World War II generation veterans, refugees, and ex-POWs from a lot of countries. There's a series, a TV series that was originally, I think it was on BBC 4, but I could be wrong, that was Ruth Goodman, Peter Ginn, and I forgot the other guy's name. It's two archaeologists and a historian. And they went back and lived the way farmers would have lived in World War II in Great Britain, and all the things that they had to do to comply with the government as far as what they could have on their farms and growing things and taking in refugees from the town. And I have watched every series those people have done. Those are amazing, historically pretty accurate series that I wish American television was as good. I really do. But I have rewatched that World War II one. I think it's called World War II Farm or something along that line. Really awesome series. If you have not watched it, it is available on YouTube. I do not see any doubling on this coin. That's what we're looking for here. Good morning, Miss Anna. I'm crazy. All right, clams. Don't work too hard. You know you are loved on this channel, and we won't be saying any cussy words at you. Unless you do something really, really bad. And I've never seen my clams do anything really, really bad. They're part of the good guys. But anyway, I was so shocked when I saw all that junk this morning, I couldn't go back to sleep. I was just like, wow, this is what goes on in the middle of the night while I'm trying to get some beauty rest. Holy crap on a cracker, as Penny would say. Well, we still haven't found anything worth a penny. Let's open another one. Yeah, I really want to go to England I'm kind of at a dead end on my father's family because British folks back in the 1800s had a very structured way of naming children. And unfortunately, in the area of Britain that my family is from, in America, Smith and Jones are like two of the most common names. Where my family is from, which is Staffordshire, Martin is like Smith. I mean, there are so many Martins and so many Tuckers, and oddly enough, Whitehouse, the last name Whitehouse. And over time, more and more public documents have made their way to the internet, but I really still am going to have to go there at some point or find someone to send to sort out my relatives from my direct line from other people with that name, those names in the same area. I can only get back as far as about 1841, and my great grandfather, I can't pin him down. I know he died between 1841 and 1851, and then his children started scattering. And I'm really going to have to go there to where I can look up documents. My other option is I'm going to have to take a DNA test and see if I can isolate which one of those family lines is mine. But I would like to go and see where my family came from. I do know they were coal miners, so they were not wealthy people. And that my great-grandfather figured out he could get passage on a Mormon ship for less than it would cost to take a commercial liner. And he kind of committed a fraud, but I don't know that he did it intentionally. He came over as a Mormon, and then once he got into the United States, and he had been here a few years, was when the Mormon church started having their split off, and he did not believe in the polygamy part, so he left the regular Mormon church and joined what was called the Reorganized Mormons, who basically had the same beliefs except they did not believe in polygamy. And but he was able to come over at a cheaper rate because he did come over on the Mormon ship, and I'm not sure if he ever paid them back as he was supposed to. I haven't found a record that he did, and I haven't found a record that he didn't. Yeah, see, I can't get anywhere close to that, Christopher, on my dad's family. I'm just stuck because I don't have access to the documents. Now, my mother's family, I have them back into the 1500s. They were at least parts of the line. They were German and Dutch. And fortunately for me, both of both the Dutch Reformed Church and the Lutheran Church kept pretty decent records. So I was able to pin a lot of that down. But my dad's family, I am so stuck. And I think I got a break the other day. I haven't worked on it for quite a while, but I think I caught a break. So I do have a genealogy channel that I started, and I just haven't done anything with it. So I think I am going to, in the next week or so, take a look at this clue that I got, and then see if I can find someone in Dudley who I can get to do some research for me. Yeah, if you had someone that kept good records, it makes a big difference. But like I said, my family, as far as I know, my great-great-grandfather was a coal miner. And my great-grandfather, who came to the U.S., was also a coal miner. But the difference was when they got to the U.S., they owned their own coal mine. So they were no longer being forced to work ungodly hours. When they wanted to come out of the mine, they came out of the mine. No closes. No closes. We're just not finding much in here but a bunch of dirty pennies. It's a sad situation. It's a sad situation. A sickly six. Nothing there. It's copper though. Nothing to look for. I can't believe I've been through all these rolls and haven't found anything. Oh yeah, that's another, the same people that did the World War II farm. They also did one on a Tudor farm where they were reenacting working on a monastery-owned farm. And I love those shows. I've watched every series that they did. I wish they'd do more. I really wanted them to do a World War I. The World War II one was my favorite, though. I've watched it a couple times. It was pretty awesome. I like archaeology and history and all that stuff. Nope, no white AM on there. Oh, it's ugly. Oh, I still got 6 people in here. I don't know, some of you may have noticed the quality of what I can see with the microscope has greatly improved. And there's a 63D. We owe that to Archaeology Mikey. I kept complaining about, I thought I needed a new microscope because it wouldn't stay in focus. And then I realized one day it could just be this stand. I had this stand taped together and weighed down trying to hold the microscope. Well, Mikey for Christmas sent me a really nice adjustable stand made of metal and not plastic for my pre-existing scope. And as soon as I put the old microscope on the new stand, I was able to keep everything in nice clear focus. And I can adjust the height. And so if we see something on a coin that we think may be of interest, I can zoom way, 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 way in on that. I'm going to take it all the way down as close to the coin as I can get now. And we can zoom in on the absolute tiniest details. Like if I had a mint mark here that I wasn't sure about, I would never be able to see it before. Now I have the ability to zoom all the way in and have it hold steady, and then take it all the way back up, and it never wavers. Everything is clear, clear, clear. I just have to, but it gives us so much more ability to look at the coins that we had just lost. And I thought, truthfully, part of it was because I am losing some of my vision due to this autoimmune disorder I have called IgG4. And part of it is for that. But a lot of it was just bad microscope mounting, which, thank you, Archaeology Mikey, has been rectified. And I wish some of the coins that I let go, I wish I still had, so that I could look at them all over again. But have a good day. I just got to my first stop of the day. Got to fix this customer's lights. Well, thank you for coming in, Brian. We always appreciate having you. Don't work too hard. Be safe. I don't know where you are, but stay warm. We've got all-day rain moving in here in the Appalachian Mountains. It came up through Alabama and Georgia and the Carolinas, and it's now going to rain at my house all day today. So we'll just be hanging out. I have a show at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll be doing day 11 of the 12 days of Christmas. And we'll also be doing sweeping the dirt, metal detecting, chit and chat. That will happen at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. And I just been awake for 2-3 hours, so I thought, what the heck? Let me look at some pennies. I've done a few rolls here and found not much of nothing. Looking for the elusive Indian heads and Wheaties and stuff like that there. So far, no good. I think I'm going to do one more roll. Hey, Friday. On Wednesday. We'll never get 100 people on my morning show. And that used to bother me, and that's why I quit doing my morning show. Oh, where in Florida are you, Brian? I was raised in Florida. I'm a Floridian idiot. Yep. I was many decades in Florida. The only reason I'm not there right now is I have a very expensive medication that I need, and their insurance would not help me pay for it. So in order to stay alive, I had to leave. It's a shame. My brother's still in Florida. Oh, hi, Werner. I don't know who would have eaten your posts, but I saw you have a new video up, and I'm going to go over later and get my German lesson while I watch you fix cars. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever mod is messing with Werner, you don't mess with Werner. That's my pal in Germany. You leave Werner be. Yeah, you leave my Werner alone. I'll get mad. You mess with my Werner. He one of the good guys. Yeah, I got some pretty good folks on my channel. Yeah, I gotta find my good cheat sheet. Ooh, I hear sirens. I'm a couple miles from the hospital, but I don't usually hear. Oh, I know what I'm hearing. That's not a siren. I have in my bedroom, I have an Alexa Echo, and the alarm is going off on it. So what I have to do is go on my phone here. Alexa, turn off alarm.
7 a.m. Alarm stopped on open area.
And she has just turned off the alarm in the bedroom. My brother got that Alexa for me when I couldn't see, to tell me when my appointments were. And what am I looking for? Yeah, like here's another one that 83, there's some copper, and actually 82s, there's some copper, and supposedly on this list it says there's an extra G on In God We Trust. That's a new one on this list. I've got to make a whole new list. Yeah, my brother has helped me tremendously through these illnesses. When I needed to have someone come and stay with me, I didn't have a couch or anything for my niece, who is not his child. It's my sister's child. Anyway, I didn't have anywhere for anybody to sleep to come and stay with me when they did my brain biopsy. And rather than get a couch, I decided that what I really would like to have was a fold-away cot that didn't take as much room, and I didn't have the money to buy such a thing. And I just told them, this is what I need, and this is why I need it, because they won't do the biopsy unless I have someone that can come and stay with me, because they're going to go in through my eye. And so a couple days later, here comes just exactly what I said I wanted. And then they got that for me, and a few other items that I have needed. If it's a need, my brother will get it for me. If it's just a want, maybe not. But usually I don't ask him for stuff unless it's something like I did not ask for that at all. That was either a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, and I use it every day, so it's been quite a good thing. Oh, this is that new thing I'm looking for. Not it. 83. We're just not finding much in this box so far. Don't know why. I think this is about the 7th or 8th roll I've done. And really not found anything. I mean, we're dancing around. We got a 63s, 64s, you know, that. But we're not getting quite as old as we would like. And I got to remember to go look at Mr. Titus's new videos of his Indian heads. He is God is Great on this channel. He just was in earlier, told us about his new video. So I definitely am going to want to see that. What makes his stuff so interesting to me is that he lives in Japan, but he is from the US. So it's interesting to see an American in a different country collecting American coins. I would be curious as to see what his collection looks like. Les is another one over on the other side of the pond. Les been on my channel for a long time. Hey, these are... I'm not going to complain too much because 2 boxes ago I had the worst box ever. Hi, Shelby. How you doing this morning, sweetheart? Always happy to have you. Let's see if we got a close AM. I've never found one. And I still haven't. Oh my goodness. I got to turn the fan on. So if you hear a little buzz in the background, that's what it's going to be. Let's look for the wide. I don't know about that. It's not as close as a close, but it's not as wide as a wide. I'm going to set that one aside for now. Get a second opinion. Put it back in at the end. And my house is, my apartment is laid out weird. Each room has one of these air handler things in it. And I did not, when I first moved in, take that into account because I'd never had this type of a heating unit before. And my desk is right under this thing. So in order to have the heat on, it is blasting right on my head. And it gets, if I turn it off, then it gets too cold in here. And if I leave it on, it is baking my brain. So I've got the fan going right now with the heat at the same time. I don't see any doubling there. Lots of zincs over there. Yeah, a lot of zincs in these rolls. That one's for the copper hopper. I do have a separate thing for the copper, and while I do not hoard the copper, each box I save the copper and then weigh how much copper came in that box. So I do have a little bin that I put the coppers in. I have a little bin that I put 82s in. And I have one that I'm putting 68s in because someone is collecting those. And so I keep those for one of my subscribers. And there was nothing in that one. Few coppers. couple of 60s. Very little else. Now, this one doesn't look like it's too full of shields, but there's a lot of them. Oh, come on out of there. Yeah, I apologize for my rant earlier, but I truly believe there's no reason to be that nasty. And like I said, I'm not going to single them out. Some of you can figure out who I was talking about. I just don't. I was disgusted. I think the only word I posted in that whole stream in the short time I was in there was wow. And also a post, hey, so-and-so, are you still in here? Because I saw somebody in there that I could not believe. They hadn't said anything nasty, but I saw somebody in there that I needed to speak with and just asked, are you still here? And when that person did not respond, I got out of there. It was ugly. It was ugly. Trying to get all these shieldies out of here. All right. Oops. Yeah, this background that you see here, that is actually the metal base of the new scope stand. Let's look at his ear. I don't see any doubling on his ear. I don't know where my gloves are this morning. No idea, folks. Ooh, Irish cream. That sounds good. Haven't had that for a while. That's one of my favorites, too. I don't think they know what that is where I live. I don't see any in any of the places I go. No doubling on that ear. This is sad. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. Copper. Yeah, these pennies are all ugly too. I mean, they're not even nice ones. Looking for a close AM that we did not find. Oh my goodness. We can't get nothing, honey. Nothing. Yeah, it is. It's real. That's what I like. I like Irish cream and coffee. And when I lived in Florida and when I lived in Michigan, if you went into places to get coffee, they almost always had the little containers of Irish cream, flavored creamer. What do I do with my copper? Well, I live in a very small place, so I don't really have any room to keep and hoard it. So what I do is when I am doing my box search, I have a container that I put copper in, and then at the end, I will weigh that and see how much copper is actually in the box that I just searched. And usually, unless someone asks me to keep a specific date for them, I will end up releasing the copper back into the wild. It just ends up getting rolled up and taken back to my bank because I don't really have anywhere to store it or anyone who is interested in buying it from me. But I do keep a record of how much I find per box. And the average has been about 2.5 pounds per box. That's not always the case. One box had 0 because that was a box where a young lady didn't understand what circulated meant, and I ended up with a whole box of 2017s. Doody-doo, 84. So anyway, that's what I do with copper. That's not what other people do with it. But that's what I do with it, because I do keep the 68s because I have someone who asks specifically for 68s, and we do a little deal when I accumulate a roll of them. Then we do a little dance. I used to keep the 83s and check them. I kind of got away from that. I have a limited attention span anymore. I have this strange disease. I have a number of autoimmune disorders. The last one that I was diagnosed with, this is the one that I'm trying to relocate to get treatment for, is called IgG4-ROD. Sounds like something from a Star Wars movie. What it does, it's sort of like a cancer. It's not officially designated as a cancer, but it grows foreign tissue in different parts of your body. And in my case, the ROD designates that it is an ophthalmology related thing, where it has grown inflammatory tissue in my eye socket and the brain behind my eye socket. And because they did not catch it on time and it was misdiagnosed as something completely different, that tissue has grown around my optic nerve, and they cannot operate on it. Hi, Joe Dirt Treasure. You leaving us, Les? All right, have a great day. So anyway, the crap's growing around my optic nerve and causes horrible headaches and has half blinded me, but if they try to remove it, it will completely blind me. So until I can get to where they do the infusion treatment, which is kind of like chemo, I just gotta live on steroids and all these other weird medications, and it sucks. And so sometimes you will end up with me having to cancel a show, and I will say it's because of my eye. And so that means that I'm having an issue with the IgG4 and I can't see to follow the stream. Sometimes I just gotta say no. I don't even see. Oh, it's there. It's just. We're not doing much here, are we? A lot of junk. A lot of dirty coins. There's a 64 something. 64D. In the copper hopper. 94. In the nothing hopper. 92. So look forward to close AM. Nobody home. Yeah, this has been a bit disappointing. 82. We look at those later. I got a whole bucket full of those. 2003. 80D. Hi, Joe Dirt Treasure. Hey, keep digging. Welcome, welcome, guys. I just was up early. And so I decided to do this. Because I can. Because I can. But I got me some pennies at the bank. And nothing in that one. Slim pickings. Slim pickings. All right, I'm going to be right back, folks. I'm going to get the beverage and probably do another roll. I'm going to put something on here. Makes noise. This is actually an isolated drum track from a former #1 hit song back in the 60s. And the gentleman playing this was one of the finest rock and roll and jazz drummers ever. He passed away a couple weeks ago. And I was watching some videos of him and listening. And I found this as a tribute. So while I get my beverage and stuff, I want you to listen to this gentleman. His name was Dino Danelli. And he was the drummer for a band called The Rascals, also known as the Young Rascals. And in the 70s, a band called Bulldog. And then he played with Stevie Van Zandt, who came from Bruce Springsteen's band. But anyway, this guy, his drum work just amazes me. So you can listen to Dino play while I get something to drink. Because I'm thirsty. Let's stick this under there. That's a pretty coin. Ah, that's weird. It keeps, on my end, it's playing something different. I don't know why. Maybe if I get rid of that. Because it's playing penny, 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 and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be
Penny,
playing Dino.
penny, penny.
I don't know what it's playing on your end. I think I need to clear my cache or something. There we go. Now we got it. Little Dino Danelli. Guy could have won the Paul McCartney Look-alike Award. Was also a very fine physical artist in the genre of Pablo Picasso. Big fan of Dino's. All right. One more roll. I'm going to reach down into the bowels of the box. Try to find one that at least has an ender that looks like it might be something. Oh my goodness. Born in 63, huh? I got 10 years on you. I was born in 53. Come on, give me something that does not have a shiny on the end. I'm going to keep pulling out of here till I get something that's a little hopeful. These are all icky. All of them. I have not found a single roll so far that has a copper on the end. Oh, stop it. Stuff is jumping off my desk. At least it didn't hit me in the foot yet. Notice I said yet. Let's see here. Well, that one, maybe. All right, let's throw all these guys back. I have not found a single Wheatie yet. We need to change that. We need to change that. You got me some tea. Sweet tea, the house wine of the South. Come on now. Let's have something here, please. Well, that roll looks mostly a little bit darker. Yeah, tonight on my Day 11 giveaway and the metal detecting sweeping the dirt, I'm way behind on making videos from some of my digs. And I have all these bags, Ziploc bags, of things I found. And I'm just going to grab one out tonight, even though I have not done the video on it. And we're going to just go through the bag and look at the coins and look at whatever I found on that day. Tools collection. All right. Switching back from coin collection to tools collection. Leave me a like, please, since nobody else do. Have a great day. Yeah, I'll be over later to look at that. I've got a list here of ones I need to look at. One of them is Werner. Werner is a mechanic, folks. His videos are in German, but you can figure out what he is doing. And I'm a car junkie. I used to race cars, so I try to go over and brush up on my German a little and watch Werner work on the cars. And also Mr. Titus, who is on my channel, his channel is God is Good, has a new video showing, I think he said 100, anyway, a whole buttload of Indian heads that he has collected. And so he has a new video showing off his Indian heads. So those two I got to get over when I get off here and watch those. I try to keep up with those two. God is good. He is over in Japan. He works with children who have cancer in a hospital there, which is very cool. We're looking for some doubling here, but I don't see any. So yeah, if y'all would run over and hit the like button for Werner and his auto repair stuff. I can pretty much follow what he's doing, which is my great grandmother made me learn some German back in the day. Well, she didn't force me, but she would send me letters that were written part in German and part in English. And if I responded to the questions from the German part in German, she would send coins in her next letter. She would send me $50 and pennies and things like that. So I had taken several years of Spanish and then attempted to take German, and the two languages are nothing alike, and I had a bad time with German, but I persisted with it because of my great grandmother being a bride. Nice lady. I love that lady. She was a lot like me. She was almost 100 years old, and she would still get on a Greyhound bus and go to like Indian reservations and just all over the place. And most of my relatives did not know it, but Bina used to carry a little 22 pea shooter in her purse. She wasn't afraid of anything. I loved that lady. Her husband died young, and she had a little bit of money and traveled, went to Cuba. Yeah, she is something else. But because of her, I learned just enough German to get myself in trouble. You know? So I watched Werner's channel to kind of brush up a little on German. It helps with my genealogy work on my mom's family. Well, I'm down to 3 people. The haters club must be on. I'm sorry, that wasn't nice. The we're better than everybody else club. I don't know what to call them. This is the Deadbeat club over here. They call us all kinds of things. Oh my goodness. 79. That goes into copper dehoppers. Yeah, I think I'm gonna quit when this one's done. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it running and running and running and running. I haven't found a single 2009. Why do I have the feeling these pennies been picked? No doubling on the ear. $73. Copper. Shield penny. Oh, I didn't pick the shields out of this one. I usually do, so I don't waste. Oh, we got a Wheatie. All right, Ross, we got a Wheatie. We're going to play us a game. We're going to try to guess what year is this Wheatie without going over. And whoever is the closest, I'm just going to pull some random Wheaties out of the box over here and send them to you. So everybody guess closest date without going over based on the condition of the reverse. Well, we've got a guess of 47. I don't have a lot of Wheaties left in this box. I pretty well picked them out. Okay, Ross says 56. Philly. Mike the Greek says in 1952. Hi, Mike. You've been lurking, have you? All right, there's 3 more people. I'm not going to wait all day. Maybe. Yeah, I'm still in shock. I should have emailed you this morning, Mike. When I saw what I saw, it reminded me of something I saw in a bar once where one of the people working with the band saw it and just looked over and said, "Somebody please poke out my eyes. I do not wish to observe this spectacle." And that's the way I felt about 4 o'clock this morning when I wandered into what I thought was going to be a coin collecting channel, and it is supposed to be a coin collecting channel, but it was, as a friend of mine used to say, too foul to be funny. And I got out of there right quick because it was a lot of people bashing and nasty stuff. Leanne, you want to take a guess at what you think this Wheatie is based upon what the back looks like? Right. All right, you got about 30 more seconds to make a guess. We got 47, 56, and 52 as our guesses. And you're gonna, whoever's closest without going over is gonna win this envelope with 5 assorted Wheaties in it. Just cause we finally found a Wheatie in this box, that's why. I didn't think we were ever gonna find one. All right, well, let's see who's gonna get their Wheaties this morning. Breakfast Old Champions. Let's flip her over and see who we got. $55. Oh, Ross is over. Mike the Greek with 52. Mike the Greek, you have won. Let me see what you win. Well, this one is not a Wheatie. This is a 71S. Yeah, anytime they're in these things, they always reflect. And I can't do anything about that. And then you got a 51 Denver, a 42D Wheatie, a 51 Philly, and a 41. So there you go. History Revisited, Metal Detecting UK, welcome. Found a stinking Lincoln in the UK, your only American coin. Well, you got to start somewhere, history. I have not found any British coins detecting, but I did get one out of my car wash change machine once. Add it to the Epiphany prize. Okay, will do. That drawing is on January the 6th. I got a box up here. I'm just going to staple the little envelope shut. Put donated win from Mike the Greek from the Deadbeat Club 1423. In the box it goes. Thank you, Mike. All right, so we did finally get a Wheatie out of this box. I feel a little better now. There is hope. There is hope. Looking for a DDODO. Don't see anything doubled on there. Next. Yeah, when you finally get that first Wheatie in a box, you get a little bit of hope that there could be some more stuff in there. But when you go roll after roll and you don't get anything, it gets a little discouraging, and you kind of wonder, am I going to go through this whole box and not find anything? Oh, that's ugly. Oh, it's also upside down. Duh. Dee. If anybody remembers what comedian used to say that? Dee. No doubling there. Toot. 97. Nothing really to hunt. I was so happy to see that. There's an 82 for the 82 jar. I got a bunch of them I got to look at. I got a new contest that we're going to be doing as soon as we finish up the 12 days of Christmas. I got a whole new thing. I think it's going to be fun for everybody but me. And you'll understand when I show it to you why I say that. Because I'm going to have to roll up a whole passel of pennies to complete that contest. Copper in the hopper. Few more left of this roll. Copper in the hopper, more copper. Shield. More copper. And a zinc. All right, should we do one more? Whoa. Mike says he got a box of pennies and they charged him a $5.25 fee. I have never had a bank charge me anything to get a box of anything. And my bank knows exactly what I do. They have no problem with it as long as I bring the coins back rolled, and I have to take them back to the same bank I get them from because we live in a very small community. But I mark my rolls and they never give me back the rolls that I've already hunted. And if they don't have anything to give me, I just don't get any until they get some new ones in. But they've never charged me for that ever. I would be PO'd too if I were charged a fee without being notified. That's not right. That is just not right. Yeah, that's never happened to me before. And I don't understand the logic of it unless they are having to special order, like if you were getting a box of Eisenhower dollars or something that they normally would not carry. I could maybe see that, but like if I were just going and getting a box of quarters or a box of nickels or whatever, they have to have those in the bank anyway. It's not like they're having to specially round that up just to meet your request. So no, I agree with you. I think that's out of the line. And I would be calling the branch manager and asking them, number one, what bank policy is that based upon that they would charge you that fee in the first place? And secondly, why would they do it without making you aware that there was such a charge? So it's a twofold question. I had an incident a few months back where I got a bunch of change, and at that time that change was for us to use at the farmers market. So I had gotten a couple rolls of dimes, couple rolls of nickels, I think 4 rolls of quarters, 2 rolls of $50 because I was going to use them for change after I searched them because the kids think they're really cool. And so I was going to use them at the farmer's market. And I had also taken back a whole bunch of money. Well, somehow they decided that I shorted them like $4.50. And the lady actually had the audacity to call me from the branch and tell me I needed to come back down there and bring her $4.50. Well, first of all, I had everything on the transaction written out, so I knew exactly how much everything was going to be. And yeah, it was just a mess. But the audacity of them to call me at home at 4:45 in the afternoon and tell me I needed to bring them $4.50. I was furious. Turned out I did not owe them the $4.50. But the lady was so incredibly rude. And she was the branch manager. Hadn't been the branch manager for too long. Our original had retired. Well, the next time I went in that bank, she wasn't working there anymore. I don't know if they transferred her to another location or if they terminated her for perpetual stupid. I don't know. But I just could not believe that they would call my house and demand I bring them $4.50 because the girl's till was short. Really? And banks do some weird stuff sometimes, and they don't realize they can lose customers over minute things. You see, they won't even take my coins back if I don't re-roll them, and we don't have a Coinstar here that will give me the option of an Amazon. The only things I can cash mine in for on the Coinstar without losing 10% are our local movie theater or Applebee's, which I don't eat at Applebee's, and there was one other thing, and so it's pretty pathetic. So I don't have that option, so I end up having to roll them all back up. And that's going to be part of our next contest, actually, once we get past the gift away for the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to be rolling pennies for a long time. But yeah, I would object to that charge too. And it's not that it's like a super big charge. It's just the principle of it. Maybe it's some new policy they have put in for 2023, but they still should have notified you and given you the option of saying, nope, I don't want to do that. But yeah, sometimes banks get really, really greedy. And yeah, exactly. That would be me, Mike. I would be pissed that they did not tell me. Not so much that they charged me that, but that they didn't tell me, and just all of a sudden I find this random charge. I'm with you on that one. It's not the amount, it's just the fact that it was done at all. I mean, really? And when they did that with me with that $4.50, the lady that called me wasn't even born when I opened my account at that bank. I've had that same account at that same bank since 1997. Are you kidding me? You're going to try and nickel and dime me for $4.50 that your teller was short on her drawer and arbitrarily decided that the shortage came from my transaction? I told him, I said, pull the security video. I want to see it. I said, if you're going to accuse me of stealing $4.50 from your bank, show me the footage. Get it ready. I'll be there 9 o'clock tomorrow morning with the local police officer who can watch it with us. And she still insisted I needed to pay them $4.50. So I called their main office and showed them, I had the copy of my receipt, everything. And eventually they quit bothering me for the $4.50 after I told them that I was going to close all my accounts. I have more than one. I have a savings, I have a checking, and I have a special account that has some government restrictions on it that is only the money for my moving, for the medical thing. A lot of people don't know, if you're on Social Security, you can only have so much money in the bank, but there are special accounts you can set up that are strictly for medical and moving related to medical that don't count against your Social Security, but they are restricted as to what you can use what's in them for, and that's fine. That way I don't get into that money. And that's one of the things that the haters have accused me of, is they have indicated that they think I took fundraised money and spent it. And in actuality, that money is still sitting right where it was, because there has to be a second person to even sign off on it before I can use it. And so, you know, these bullying people really are bothering me a little bit. They just shooting off a bunch of crap. They have no idea what they're talking about. But anyway, I offered to close all those accounts that I've had since 1997, and they quit bothering me about their stupid $4.50. Yeah, if I go to the bank and with no warning demand money, I get arrested. Exactly. And I couldn't believe in my case that they were throwing that big of a conniption fit because a teller was $4.50 short on her drawer. Maybe that was what was going on at your bank, Mike. Maybe a teller was short and needed to make up some money, so they just charged you their $5.25 shortage. But yeah, I would be in there just like you. It's not that it's a lot of money, it's the principle of the thing. You can't just, oh my goodness, can't just arbitrarily go in and take a fee out. Now, would someone please explain to me, what the hell am I looking at? Oh, I said a cussy word. What is that? Pardon me. I know one thing it is, it's ugly. Oh my goodness. Look for a wide A-M-M-M. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah. Looking for a wide AM. It doesn't look wide, but it doesn't look close. It just looks normal. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that would be. For a wide AM on that one, that's definitely not a wide. 92. Look for the close. I have never found a wide or a close. It's an exercise in futility. Come on now. Yeah, I know. I know. think I'm going to stop after this one. Take care of a few things. Let's see if we have a DDR happening here. I know we've got a dirty R, but I don't see any doubling. Yeah, we'll be back at 6 o'clock this evening with the metal detecting show. Like I said, I'm just going to grab one of the bags I haven't processed yet, and we're just going to look at what did I find that day. I got to start getting those done because I want to clear. I've got 2 boxes full of these bags that I have not done videos on yet. I need to process them and move along to 2023. I unfortunately didn't do a lot the last year and a half. Having that embolism kind of slowed me down on the detecting. And I was so mad I was supposed to go day before yesterday and did not get to because I was dealing with a health issue. Tired of dealing with health issues. Stuff gets old. And that was the end of that roll. So I think I'm gonna roll this up for the morning. Let all you deadbeats do what you do. You can come back at 6 o'clock Eastern, and we're gonna do some more Christmas, and we're gonna do some detecting. I got this bag right here. I think this is gonna be one. It's from a local park, and I see an interesting assortment of things in here. I see a wheel weight. I see coins. I see a screw. I see a ring. I see an interesting assortment of items. So this is going to be like a good random sampling of what I would find on any given day down at the local park. And we'll just see how much money I found that day and what the little ring looks like, and how many different varieties of pull tabs. It's an interesting sack of junk. So we'll be visiting that tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern time, and we will be visiting whatever comes off the 12 Days of Christmas board. We're getting the wheelie of death. I hate it when that happens. I do. I hate it when that happens. So anyway, I've been on here for a while. Did some skinny rolls. Found this one Wheatie. One lone tiny little Wheatie. Just wasn't right. Should have had more. So wasn't super duper happy, but we didn't get skunked. So later on, we're going to have 11 pipers piping. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's 12 drummers drumming in. Yeah. And then the day after that, all the leftover prizes plus some more will be given away for the Epiphany. So it'll be a happening for sure. There's definitely silver in the Epiphany deal. And we also have a Patreon sponsor silver drawing every month. Those who are Patreon sponsors on my channel, since I'm not monetized, I have a drawing only open to the Patreon sponsors. You can sponsor this channel for a measly $2.96 a month. You can't even get a cup of coffee down there at that fancy coffee place with the green logos for $2.96. So you can possibly get a piece of silver for that over here on my channel. So there you go. You can do a poorer than dirt tier sponsor on my Patreon. I'm going to go make me some coffee rather than spend money down at the green label place. And then I'm going to go watch those 2 videos that I need to check out and leave commentaries on. Again, as far as the rant at the beginning of this, the mind your own business rant, if you go on a channel and you start calling people out by name, and accusing them of whatever you're accusing them of, number one, it's not your business. None of you are the channel police. And number two, you better have some documentation. You're going to call somebody a crook or a fraud or whatever. If you're going to call them out by name, call them douchebags, or I saw far worse than that this morning. But if you're going to do it, first of all, you need to have some documentation. And I always find it interesting that people that do that, I'll go and look, and most of the time they have no content on their channel, or the content they have is just nothing but bashing someone else. Good morning, Mike. But yeah, what I saw this morning was pretty darn disgusting. And the fact that one of the people that was in there is supposed to be a pillar of the coin community and was in there just with some of the foulest people I've ever seen. Don't do that. Don't degrade yourself that way. It is. Yeah. All right. This quarter just fell off my desk. I wanted to see what it was. Alrighty then. So we'll be back at 6 o'clock tonight. We got, like I said, one lone Wheatie so far out of this box. Got a few 60s coins I want to take a look at. But in general, out of about 10 rolls, this is all we turned up so far. But better than nothing. Oh, goodness. Out of books. All right, guys. I'm going to go. I got to take the rest of my meds. I got to do a breathing treatment. I got some stuff I got to put in some flippy doos. So we will see y'all later on. M3 hadn't even got out of his bed yet. That's one lazy boy recliner there. All right. We'll see y'all 6 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget. Make sure you set your notifications, hit your like and subscribe, and all that good doodah. Eventually, the haters will leave me alone long enough for me to hit 1K. And if they don't, just bear in mind when you lay down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. We'll see you later. Bye.